Welcome back to the channel, everybody, after a couple weeks off, and we are now in the fall of year 8 here on Alma, Missouri. We just got into the field to start putting in our new crop of wheat. So let me get you caught up with all that's changed. So you can see there up at the top, our money is back down to only $100,000, but that is not because we bought a combine. I know that's what I said I was saving the money for, but we didn't buy a combine. So what did we spend our money on? Well, we went out and purchased, I ended up buying field number 31 over here for cash, and then we took out all of the tree line that was in between fields 31 and 32 and turned that into one field. And then what I did, actually before I did that, you can see here I leased a combine. I had to lease a combine because we bought this field while there was still wheat on it. So we were able to keep all of that wheat to ourselves, which now gives us around $155,000 worth of wheat that is in storage. So after we did that, we went out and took a $750,000 loan and went ahead and purchased field 1 here and went ahead and fixed the field boundaries on that. Looks like I need to clear my course plate course there. So now we own, and if I go to this version of the map, you'll see we now own this entire section of the map except for these 2 little tiny fields here that are actually 3 little tiny fields. So we've met our goal of owning everything on this portion of the map. But what am I going to plant on these 2 fields here? Well, you're just going to have to wait and find out. Maybe you can go in the comments and guess, because I'm going to add 2 crops to our rotation that we have not yet used in this series, and I don't know that I've ever used those on any of my series that I've recorded. So there is a production facility that I have put down on this map that I have not used yet. Some of you may have noticed it in the background on some of the videos if you pay attention. But that production is related to the 2 crops that we're going to add to our production chains. So if anybody wants to take a stab at what 2 crops I might be adding to our crop rotation, just drop in the comments. Let's see if anybody can guess correctly. One of them will be planted in the fall and one of them will be planted into the spring, but I'm not gonna put any of that on the recordings. You'll just have to see the crops in the background once we get to the summer of year 9, and we'll see if anybody guesses correctly. Outside of that, let's go back and look. Let me get myself on the straight. Actually, you know what? Let me just go stop so I don't mess up. Where are we sitting here? We have $35,000 worth of milk that we might be looking to sell at the end of the month here. We have around $17,000 worth of butter that's in storage that's not being used that we could probably sell here in October. Where's our other October? Down here, our pumpkin pie, $170,000 at least in pumpkin pie here at the end of the month. And then we have $68,000 in ketchup. So depending on where we go with that stuff, on top of the $100,000 that we already have, we'll see if it's enough to buy our combine outright. If not, we'll just keep using the one that I leased to take out that wheat field over there across the way. But that is where we're at right now. Things are moving along as they always are. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and speed this up and give you a little time lapse of getting our wheat in the ground, and then you will hear my lovely voice again when we get to October. All right, we've made it to October and we are hard at work getting the corn out. We did end up selling off all of the wheat, along with selling off our pumpkin pie and some milk. So out of all of that, we were able to purchase the combine outright. We ended up going with an Ideal 9T, but we have it badged as a Challenger and painted in Challenger yellow. The 16-row corn head we did have to lease. We didn't have quite enough money to buy that. It was $125,000 to buy, and we were at $70,000 after we purchased the combine. So we'll go back and get a header later, but we're getting the corner here. You can see we're pushing 260 bushels per acre. You can see the yield monitor down there in the corner is looking pretty green, so we're excited about that as I crash into the combine, or crash into the semi. I think this is my fourth. This is about the fourth unload here. I think by my math it's going to take 6.5 or so until this truck is full. So we're moving along pretty well. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of harvest action here, and then we'll probably do some more time lapse. Or I could sit here and record for the next hour and a half to 2 hours of just going back and forth in the cornfield. It's up to you guys. This is where we're gonna figure out, though. I think I'm gonna have to strategically figure something out, because I'm about to go into, I think I'm about to hit where I'm going all the way through now, and I'm gonna be more than 50% full by the time I get to the other end. So I think what I might have to do is I might have to go get one of the tractors and put it on the trailer that's actually set at unreal capacity that I've been using for the hay and the straw. I might actually have to go get one of the tractors and hook up to that and park it up here at the other end of the field, because I cannot get all the way down and back, and I don't want to have to get out every 1.5 rounds through the field to run back and move the truck every time. So I might just, we'll see where we're at when we get to the end of the field up here. But I'm pretty sure I just did a shorter row and I was at like 52% full, so we'll see what we get. But this one here should take us all the way through to the end. We'll see what percentage we're at, and then if we have to jump over to the farm and get one of the tractors and bring the unreal capacity trailer over here to make the harvest go quicker, then that's what we'll do. I finally got to the point, year 8, I actually got to the point to where I truly need an auger wagon. But since it's just me by myself, I'd have to park the auger wagon at one end and the semi at the other end, even if I did it that way. So we'll just use the unreal capacity trailer, and then that means it'll take us longer to get a semi load too. The only thing about this 9T is it seems to be struggling on these hills a little bit with the 16-row header. Come on, Bessie, you can do it. I had the option to go with a 12-row. We might go back and buy the 12-row when it comes time to purchase after we sell some stuff off, because if this combine, if the 9T can't handle 16 rows going up these hills, then not even picking up even the slightest bit of momentum here. There we go. Oh, we might be good now. Let's see. Not quite to the end. We're up to 261 bushels per acre though, I like that. Yeah, we're gonna have to go get the tractor and the trailer because right there we're at 50% and you can see I'm not quite to the longest rows yet. So I hit 51% before I got the end. And yep, so let me go ahead and do that. Let's turn you off. And park you right here. And we're just going to do this the easy way. Yep. We'll use the Vario 900 here. Yeah, we're good. I was going to stop and get some fuel, but if it's just going to be sitting at the end of the field, I'll fuel up before it's time to go to town. So go over here, remember which bay I need. Pickup is still parked over here next to the tender from getting all the wheat and other seeds in the ground. So yeah, this trailer here is set to have an unreal capacity. I forget what that actual capacity is, but I did it to make it quicker to picking up the straw and the hay. And I think I've had upwards of 1,500 yards of hay in here, and it's like 20% full at that point. So it'll help us out here. Put the big horse on it so we can pull it to town when it's full. You can see here, I know I kind of briefly mentioned it, but we did end up disking under that portion of corn over there to the left to make this go straight across here, just to make it easier with the corn harvest and the corn planting. It was on. I just didn't know. I don't have the auger lined up right. There we go. There we go. Let's back you up, Bessie. So here you go. 256 bushel isn't even 1% full, so this is gonna last us a while. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it over here off to the edge a little bit, and I think we're just gonna jump back into the combine now and give you guys a little time-lapse harvest action. Alright, so it took us quite a ways into November before we finally got the corn done, and we're not quite done. I had to come over here and top up with fuel, but we only have one round left in the field, so we'll go on over here. The semi is still at the bottom of the field. It is full for the third time, so that holds 3,400 bushel, so 7,000, so close to 11,000 bushel that have come off of that. As I crash again, that's what I like to do. I'm starting to think I don't like this combine. One, I don't like that it doesn't have the power to run a 16-row header. I also don't like that it's got really bad brakes. It just doesn't have the power, and I don't like that I can't put a grain extension on there, especially running a 16-row head. So we might have to branch out and look at a different brand for next season. We'll kind of play it by ear, but we're gonna go through this last time through the field here and get this all knocked out, and then year 8 will be complete, and we'll be ready to go into year 9 here pretty soon. But so, yep, like I said, took almost 2 full months to on gameplay time at 3x speed to get this field out. So, you know, if I'm gonna look at bigger operations, then we might just quite possibly have to look at getting a second combine and a grain cart and hiring some work, which might be something that's coming in the future. Just while I was refueling, I was up there at the house, and you know, we're here in Alma, Missouri, down here in the southwest corner of Missouri, but just got off the call with a friend of mine that's looking at some acreage up in northwest Missouri. That's a lot closer to home. I'm originally from Nebraska, so there's a chance we might be looking at some land up here in northwest Missouri here in the near future. So we're already looking at plans for the future. I already sold the field cultivator and the roller, because I think after we plant our next rotation of crops, I think that's going to be it here in southwest Missouri. We're going to look to move to some new land, so we're going to use up the productions that are in storage now, and once those are gone, we'll start selling off our production facilities. Oh, this game drives me crazy. So that time through the field, I'm only 45% full, but the last time through the field, I was 55% full. I guess my yield is still varying. You can see we're at 250 there bushels per acre. But what we're going to look at doing is slowly selling stuff off. So after I do my tillage in the spring, I'm going to go ahead and sell the VT. After we plant in the spring, I'll go ahead and sell the planter. So as we move through year 9 toward year 10, I'm going to start selling some stuff off. Once I feel like we have enough wool in the spinnery and enough eggs in the bakery and enough milk in the dairy, we'll go ahead and sell off those items. But that's all going to happen over the next year, so there'll still be a little bit more content to come here on Alma. But the channel's not going away, but we're plotting our next move, and I think it looks like we're going to be moving either into northwest Missouri or southeast Nebraska, a little bit closer to home. So a little update for you guys there. Like I said, I don't even have the header down, and this thing just won't get up to speed. So I think with that plan, I might just sell this combine. I might just sell this combine after we're done here, and just lease one for next year's harvest, if it's going to be our last year on this map anyway. because this is ridiculous. This is supposed to be a 2017 model Fendt 9T, and it can't handle a 16-row corn head going up not even a steep incline. So not really overly pleased with this mod, but it's too late now. We got the whole field done. We'll look at a different combine for next year. Probably have to get out of the Agco areas, or I can go. There's a couple 9Ts and 10Ts that are base game, but they don't have the ability to put grain tank extensions on them either, and you kind of need a grain tank extension on this side of the field, this size of field, if you're going to be running a 40-foot grain platform or a 16-row corn header. I can't even get one time through the field without being more than 50% full, so I'm going to need some more capacity. So we might have to branch out to a different brand for our combine for next year, but hey, sometimes you do what you got to do. But once we get here to the top of the hill, we're going to go see how much corn we have left to deliver. I already have the first couple of loads going in the grain dryer. And so you can see we already have $138,000 worth of dry corn off of the 2 truckloads that we've dropped off already, and it's still going. Like, let me see. Yeah, there's still 4,000 bushel in there. Might need some more propane here soon, but so only a third of it. Excuse me there. Only a third of our corn has been run through the dryer, and we already have $170,000 worth. So we should be able to hopefully get our $750,000 loan paid off. I took out a 10-year loan on that, so our at 3.5% interest, so we're only paying about $7,500 a month on that, but I'd like to get that paid off, especially now if we're looking at moving and purchasing new land somewhere else. So there we go, 80% full. Shut her off for the last time. You see, like, it just, the brakes, it just doesn't stop either. So, alright, let's get this out. So like I said, we have 3,400 bushel down there at the bottom of the hill. And we're going to have another 9,700 bushels here to go deliver. So we're going to go get that taken care of, and we'll probably catch you in the next episode when we're going to be going into year 9 and we're going to start selling some stuff off and getting ready to move. But as always, thank you for watching the channel. Don't forget those 3 magic buttons, like, subscribe, and notifications. And we'll catch you in the next episode when we're in the spring of year 9.